Welcome to Trauma and Transcendence, where healing meets awakening. I'm Amanda M. Dodd, your guide on this transformative journey. Thank you for joining me on this episode. Let's transcend together. Hello, Soulful Seeker. Welcome back to Trauma and Transcendence. Today, I've got a guest for you. You've met him before, and we very much enjoyed him last time. So back with us today is Dan Goyette. And today we're going to have special focus on the Michigan Hypnosis Conference. Now, so far, I've been invited back because Dan has not used his better judgment. And so I will be presenting there this year, and it's become kind of an annual staple for me, and I may just be a lifer until they kick me out. But let's hear about it from Dan. Dan,
we
what
won't
even
kick
got you started with?
Oh yeah. Oh
Well,
boy,
I will
that's
leave that in the fine print for you.
yes, that's a loaded question. What got me started?
Yeah.
The conference is actually Heather Carpenter's brainchild, my business partner. I think where did I go? I had come back from I'd come back from a conference. I don't think it was Hypnothoughts, but it was kind of a fall conference. And right now I'm having a rutabaga moment. I can't remember what it is. Oh, it was Heartland. Matter of fact, no, it wasn't Heartland. Okay, never mind. Fall. Heartland is in the spring. Hello. Different seasons. So stop judging me, Frank. I came back and I got invited to the UK Hypnosis Conference. And I had to scramble to get there. So I really quick put the money together, and because I'm going to the UK, I get to go there and talk. So this is going to be great. I put the money together. I got the plane tickets and rushed and went out there. I was out there for like 3 days, and literally I was there, did the presentation. I had like 1 day of sightseeing, and then I had to fly back. So I got back from that conference, and Heather began to ask, hey, you're going to all these conferences. You're going to Heartland, you're going to Hypnothoughts, and you're going to the UK, and you're going to, all these other places, and you're making these people money by being there. And I said, well, I don't really make them money. I don't know if my presence alone makes any conference money. And I did tell her that because, these conferences like Heartland and Hypnothoughts and just they're amazing, really. So she goes, yeah, but you're spending your own money to go there, and da-da-da-da-da. So why don't we have a conference here in Michigan? Now, I thought she was simply asking a question. And I said, well, I don't know. She goes, yeah, but why don't we have one? I said, they're a lot of work. It's something to put on. I said, and I don't know if that's something, that anybody would want to take or to do. And she looked at me. She goes, no, you're not understanding me. Why don't we have a conference? I said, oh. And I said, oh, man, that's a lot of work, and I don't know if I want to do that, Heather. And, well, long story short, I don't do anything that I don't want to do, so let's not put it all on Heather. But it was her brainchild. So we started that Michigan Hypnosis Conference. Now, I will tell you that the first year I made a bad mistake. I made a mistake. I picked what I thought would be a cool name, something pithy, something quick that people would remember, and it would just be really great. And I went with My Hypnosis Conference, meaning MI, Michigan Hypnosis Conference. And everybody went, so it's your hypnosis conference, as in mine. And I thought, oh, that's not the best. That's not the good. Yeah, that's not the good name that I thought of. Well, not everyone did. Not everyone got it. A lot of people were like, what? I don't understand. Yours? So I think that next year, 2022, we kept the same name because we were kind of married to it on the website. But, everywhere else, I kind of started putting Michigan Hypnosis Conference. And that's how it got started, was basically, let's just jump in feet first, not knowing anything. And that's what we did.
Yeah. It was a great conference. You chose a beautiful venue. I mean, and it couldn't have been any better in the fall. We get to see all the leaves change. It was just an incredible view. The restaurant that was there was fantastic.
Yeah, there was. It was a very nice venue. The thing of the logistics of putting on a conference or putting on any event, one of the big stumbling blocks I had was the hotel, the venue, which was the Treetops Resort in Gaylord, Michigan, which was
Mhm.
and I'm going to be honest with you, it was the only venue that would work with us. There was others that didn't even call us back, and
Mhm.
others that just rejected it outright because it was our first year. Now, the Traverse City Airport is an hour away from Gaylord. That was our first stumbling block. How do I get attendees and presenters from that airport to and as I bump my mic that you guys all just heard, the venue? So I got a hold of Bay Busing out of Traverse City. $2,000 later, we had buses going to the airport to bring people to the venue. Now, as far as I know, and I can't speak for any others, but I'm going to say it, I think that we were the only conference at the time to put that cost into our conference so that we could get people there. Otherwise, the problem you had is now you've got an attendee or now you've got a presenter. They get there, they got to rent a car, come to the venue, and creates an extra cost for them. So being our first year, I think we wanted people to come. So we did that. And that was a hurdle that we got over. But it was a good venue.
So here's a question.
Mm-hmm.
It was a great venue. Here's a question that I get asked all the time, but I'd love to hear it from your perspective. Why go to a hypnotherapy or a hypnosis conference?
You know, it's funny you should ask that. And you probably read the article. That's why you're asking it. Like, watch this, Bob. I've got him now. He's on the ropes. I wrote an article.
I didn't read it yet.
Oh, Amandia.
I haven't got there yet.
Okay. Wrote an article for the HypnoCafe Magazine, which we put out.
You just exposed me on my own show.
I'm sorry. I mean, no, she didn't. Which is called Conference Season. Should I go? All right, or should I stay? Or to go or not to go, as the bard would say. And because a lot of people ask me that, they're like, "Hey, you know, how do you make money at a conference?" I'm like, "You don't." One of the things I put out was what you do at a conference is two things. You're going to make contacts, and you're going to make a lot of new friends, and you're going to get a chance to see old friends, and you're going to get a chance to see presentations. And that is presentations on hypnosis and hypnotherapy from all over the United States, all over the world. That first year really surprised me. We had attendees come, or presenters come from Belgium, England, Canada, St. Louis. So everyone coming in got this huge perspective from all over the world and made a lot of contacts. And in that conference, in that article, I said, you know what, if I had, which was actually in another article, if I had made the contacts that I have now, like 10 years ago, when I was going to conferences, I'd probably be a lot further ahead in my business and my branding than I am right now, because you get that,
definitely.
and you get to collaborate.
So I don't know if you know this, but your conference was actually my first in-person conference because it was right after COVID. I'd only done virtual things before that. And so that was my first in-person experience. And then I get there and I get to meet the Rob DeGroofs, the Shelley Stockwells of the hypnotherapy industry. And it's like, oh my God, I get to sit next to these people and have dinner with them and ask them what got them started and what do they love about it now. And that's just a hard thing to come by. And I know that every conference person says that, oh, there are no cliques at our conference, but in reality, yes, there are. But yours was the first that I got to attend, and really there weren't, because it was brand new. And so I met so many people, and it really did change everything, because now I know if I'm jammed, I can write Dan Goyette and say, Dan, how do you travel to these things? Or the Jim Kellners of, hey, I got this offer to be a speaker somewhere. Is this thing real?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. That's
and those contacts will come through.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. What you don't want to do is traveling is you don't want to take advice from the dark web. So that I've had a lot of people ask me like, hey,
Well, I'm
so,
safe there.
yeah, let's do this. Don't do that. Because you know what happened to you. What happened to Phil? I don't know. He took a plane ride somewhere, and we haven't seen him since. But one of the things I want to do with this, even now, the 2024 is bigger than the first 2 years. I have done the math.
Yeah.
I don't want to per se ever see the Michigan conference get so big that that people can't connect with one another. That's not why we started it. One of the reasons we started it was when I got out of hypnosis training in 2012. Michigan was kind of a mecca. You could look around and see a lot of hypnotherapists or stage hypnotists, hypnosis. And I understand that businesses, they open and they close, but they really closed here in Michigan. And I think the pandemic had a lot to do with that. And it shrunk down to the North having it to just about everyone who has a thriving hypnosis business is over in this little corner over by Detroit, and that's where you have it. So I thought, well, we gotta do something to breathe some life into this. And Heather wants to have this conference, so perhaps by doing this, we can, as we say in the EMS world, resuscitate the hypnosis industry here in Michigan. And we do have more hypnotists coming to 2024 from Michigan than we've had in the first 2 years. So that's nice.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. And Vince just keeps training them. So I suspect there are going to be many, many more.
So, yeah, Vince.
I said Vince. I mean Vinny.
Yeah. Hey, look, I'm not saying that Vinny has got his eye on the bolts of the niche. No, I wouldn't do that to him. But he's a good guy. He's coming to the conference. And yeah, he's helped. He's actually been a big help, such as you, in promoting it and getting the word out there. Just because one of the big things that you'll find if you're putting on an event, if you're putting on a conference, I will say this now. Email blasts don't always work because you'll send them out, and what happens a lot of times is they get locked into the that spam folder. So you've got to constantly send them out and hope that they don't get locked in, or one of them gets through the gate so that people know about your conference. So most everyone that knows about the Michigan conference is word of mouth. They've heard about it. So yeah.
There's a lot to talk about with the Michigan Hypnosis Conference because there are so many wonderful things. And for me, it's the community of people that you've put together. You've chosen, I don't know if you hand chose them, but you really selected people who have a lot of heart and sincerity and genuinely work at this and want to help people. And I think that is something that makes a huge difference.
Yeah, that was one of the things that we did. Excuse me. Losing my voice there for a minute. A lot of people don't know this. I used to work for general nutrition centers. So I know the sales market really well. So when I'm looking at somebody sending me a proposal, it's like, hey, I want to present at this conference. And every conference does this. Every conference is good at this. But it's one of the things that we look at. Is it a presentation or is it a half-hour infomercial for them to sell? And if it is, we tend to go, well, no. We want people there that are going to ignite imagination, help people grow in their business. That's our mission statement: learn, share, grow. That is what we're looking at. Even though the business end of it is important, one of the things that we do have some business that comes in there, but there's not the big, buy my stuff, if you will.
Yeah. And I think you can really feel that as an attendee, as a presenter, or however anybody wants to come to the conference. You can definitely feel the difference, and being in a room and actually learning things and having takeaways and new perspectives of, I can't wait to see what I want to do with this one element that somebody shared that was remarkable.
Yeah, you say that, and that's another thing that just reminded me was in the article. People always say you don't learn in the presentations. Oh, it's always at the hallway or at the dinner table. I'm like, no, you do learn things in the presentations. You're sitting in this presentation, and then somebody will give you a piece of information in that presentation, and you're like, oh, I'm not saying that you know, like in an hour you've changed everything, but there's that one presentation, or you got this piece of information, or this idea gives you a thought, or that creates imagination, or you're thinking about, well, how would you do? Oh, that's how you do it. So you do learn some things in the presentation.
There were several last year that people had actual breakthroughs on their own personal challenges within different presentations. So whether we're talking about Claudia Ricard and the way that she presents, for hypnosis and dementia and working with seniors, or whether we're talking about Vinny, again, he had some serious breakthroughs. Luke had some wonderful breakthroughs as well, and the things that he was teaching.
People get a kick
out. A lot of your presenters do. So that I would say is different.
Yeah, people get a kick out of me and Luke because you've met Luke and you've met me, and we've taken pictures. I'm standing there in a suit, and then Luke's got his, T-shirt and the metal studs, and like, how do you guys know each other? Well, the conference. I think I met Luke.
Spoiler.
Yeah,
spoiler alert. He'll be on the podcast next week.
Oh, there you go. I think I met Luke at the Canadian Hypnosis Conference.
Yeah.
And we talked. And I think we went out and we had a pint of stout. We talked. We had a great time, and and I knew him from Facebook a little bit before and stuff like that. And just I'm like, hey, we got along famously, swimmingly, as they would say. So that's another thing, that we accidentally, the Michigan Hypnosis Conference is all inclusive. I mean, we include from all walks of life. I don't throw anybody out because they're like, oh, well, she's she does on this and she's very spiritual. That was one of the things I learned very early on, because you remember the very first one was it was so scientific. It was so medical heavy, because that's me and that's what I knew. So William Brody, much to his, credit, pretty much hit me in the head. Stop that. No, he didn't hit me, but he did say, dude, we got to open it up. I said, yeah, you're right, Mike.
Michael
Brody.
Okay.
Yeah, you don't know Michael Brody?
That guy. I love that guy.
Yeah. Norbert. So who had his own ID tag at the last conference, by the way. I might make another one if he brings them. So I always make an ID tag for the conference for Norbert. Just because Mike's like, you made him an ID tag?
Well, I don't know if Norbert's going to be alone this year.
Uh-oh.
I think Norbert may actually bring a guest himself this year.
Uh-oh. So,
and Claudia, I believe, also may have a puppet-sized friend coming.
Yeah, I don't know if Claudia couldn't make it this year. I think she's going to be somewhere else. And so...
Oh, no.
Yeah, I was a little sad about that, but she's busy. She works a lot, and she was at Heartland. She's a
wonderful speaker.
She is. Yeah, she was at Heartland. We had a lot of fun catching up. So I think maybe 2025 she'll be back. So that's my goal. So if you're listening, Claudia, 2025, I'm not above begging.
I'm going to join him on that note. I'm going to commence messaging and harassment.
There you go. So,
so speaking of people, who are your keynotes this year? Who do we have?
Yeah, we should talk about that.
Closing?
Yes, we should talk about that. Our opening keynote speaker is, oh my goodness, I almost said the wrong name. I can't. Wow, I'm having
starts with a C.
I'm having a rutabaga moment. I know, but I keep wanting to say the wrong name. It's Connie. Yeah, that's it. Connie Jo Holmes is coming in to be our keynote speaker. She was the hypnotherapist of the year 2022 for all her fine work And this year I thought, well, you know what? We've got to have Connie as our keynote speaker, our opening keynote speaker. Why not? She's amazing. She is a great presenter. She's a great author. She's just got a lot of stuff going on. And of course, the ever magnanimous Grant Saunders is our closing keynote speaker. Just because Grant, again, is one of those guys that does a lot of stuff. He does a lot of work, stage hypnosis. He does wedding hypnosis. He does hypnotherapy. He's one of the great guys if you want to do any live streaming. So he does that really, really well. Much better than I do it, per se. I know that for some of my first few live streams were, what's the word I'm looking for? Flaming freight train is the word I'm looking for. So it's like, yeah. I'm like, oh, Dan's doing it live. Is the studio on fire? It's amazing. So, but, so yeah, he is our closing keynote speaker.
They are definitely, they are definitely two hypnotherapists with heart. And I don't know if, I think Grant actually does still see clients.
Yes, she does.
Connie Jo Holmes definitely does. And she's really integrated into the therapeutic part, and that she's helping people overcome addictions and just be empowered. I love watching her work as she grows. And Grant, he really is just a jack of all trades. It's incredible to see how many things he can infiltrate. And he does all of them well.
Yeah.
You know, that's just the outstanding thing. So if you've ever got a tech problem, that's definitely your guy.
Grant
is going to give you all kinds of options.
Yeah, he's a great guy. He and Jim Kellner do the Performing Hypnosis Summit out in Las Vegas. And they talked me into being on the planning board for that. And it's great. You know, you get to go to Vegas and take it off your taxes. And
that's where you learned it.
Yeah, it's in January, so it's not super hot. You're not melting if you go outside. It's a great time. And so, but again, that's the key collaboration. Grant was the first. I think he was the first guy to cross the pond to come to the Michigan Hypnosis Conference, which was really, when I got that proposal, I was just like, what? So I did not expect anybody from England to come into the fray. But I was like, hey, that's
nonetheless
really cool.
Rob, right?
Oh yeah, Rob DeGroof. And that worked out really well because
Carolyn.
Rob was on his way to Mid-America. So he was flying over to Mid-America, found out about Michigan, swung in, did a great presentation, and then hopped on and went out. And the funny story about that Rob has is really great, because he's driving to the Treetops Resort and Ski Lounge, because it's a ski place, but it's in Michigan. Now, Rob, being from Belgium, was looking, he thought he was lost because there was no mountains anywhere. So he found it, and he looked up, and he was like he wanted to know if that was the mountain or the slope for the kids. I'm like, no, that's the ski slope right there. And he just kind of like smiled, and I was like, yeah, that's great. Which is, I met Rob through the Canadian Hypnosis Conference as well. So, just having traveled.
I didn't know that.
Oh yeah. He was 1 year he was going to be the keynote speaker, and then I think because of COVID it got canceled, and because of that, I think he was on my podcast early on when the podcast was something else. I thought he was from Canada. So I said, he's on the video, and we start talking, and the first thing I said to him was like, "You're not from Canada." And he started laughing, because I was like, I thought he was from Canada, Canadian Hypnosis Conference. But yeah, so, and he did a presentation on rapid inductions there at the first conference that everybody loved. So,
yeah. And
Michael Brody.
It was a good one.
Yeah.
And he did a repeat show at dinner, which was great.
Yeah. So Michael Brody is doing.
You missed it, but it was good.
I did not. Yeah, I missed. I was doing conference coordinator stuff is what I did. I was deep in it. I don't remember where I was. But Michael Brody this year at 2024, he is also doing a presentation on rapid inductions or speed induction techniques. So that's going to be something to see. So, because last year at 2023, Mike did our stage show, which was so great. because Norbert
That's right.
made his
That's
appearance there. So yeah, so pretty good.
He sure did. And I got all of the blackmail photos from all of the hypnotists that participated.
Like, would you like to be on my podcast, or this goes public? No. So
I haven't had to use any of it yet.
Yeah.
So
don't make me post it on Twitter.
my proposals keep getting accepted, so you're safe.
So, well, I will say this, because you are one of them, and let's put that out right now. The first 2 years, the people that made the pilgrimage to the Michigan Hypnosis Conference, because it was a pilgrimage getting to Michigan, getting to Gaylord, and then the next year we were in Harrisville at the Island Resort and Casino in the UP. Now, those things are not easy to get to, but in my defense, there were 2 airports up there in the UP, and one of them was called the Sawyer International Airport. And boy, did they play fast and loose with the word international. What it turned out to be was the old air base that was up there, and they just kind of kept the airport going.
Goodness.
So I was like, oh, that's not really international. And I thought, you know what, we've got to do something. All these people that came the first year, came the second year, such as yourself, and really supported the Michigan conference when we were struggling. And not that we're not struggling still, because we're only into our 3rd year, but it's a little
Assembling.
easier.
You were assembling.
We were assembling.
Just like you were assembling.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we said,
That's
you know
right.
what? Here's the thing. You guys made this pilgrimage. For the next few years, if you throw in a proposal, you are automatically accepted because you made that pilgrimage. You supported us. Spoiler alert. If you send us a proposal for building a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, you will be doing a presentation on peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. I will throw that out there right now. So like, all right, I'm automatically accepted. Take this. Like, well, I hope you got a presentation for that. So.
Well, thankfully, I'm low carb. Thankfully, I'm low carb and sugar free, so you didn't get that proposal from me, and I will continue to behave.
There you go. No, that's fine. So yeah.
Yeah, no, those first 2 years, you were assembling, kind of like the Avengers.
So yeah, and I'm still assembling. I'm still putting it together because I learned a lot the first year because just jumped in feet wet, really didn't know anything. The second year, I had made all those mistakes the first year, which I corrected. And this year, all the mistakes I made last year are kind of being corrected. So it's a learning process as you go, which is good, as I smile.
So you are officially closed for proposals for this season.
Yes. And that was an interesting thing. I will tell you as an event coordinator, and this is what will happen. Are you ready? When you say we're closing proposals on this day, you'll close the proposals. And you'll begin putting together who you're going to pick. Then you'll start to get your schedule together.
No.
And then people will be like, hey, are you still accepting proposals? So you'll get a bunch of those that will come in. But luckily this year, something happened that was a good thing. It was a funny thing, but it was a good thing. Our venue this year is the Hollywood Greektown Casino and Hotel in Greektown, Michigan. It is right there near the main airport. Boom. Great venue. We were going to have our vendor tables in Suite D because when I talked to the individual up there that is helping me put this together, the service person, they're like, well, yeah, the hallway is kind of tight and da-da-da-da-da. I don't know if we could put the vendor tables out there. I said, okay, we'll put them in Suite D. And then I started talking. It's like, hey, how big is Suite D? How many vendors can I get in there? And I said, well, it's this big, and we can put this many in. But if you have this many, we can just put them in the hallway. And yeah, my eye twitched because I'm just like, you just told me I couldn't put them in the hallway. Now we're putting them in the hallway. So there was an eye twitch that happened there. And it looks like this. Hold it together. You're just trying to not lose it. I said, okay, well, now Suite D opened up. So we got 3 days of Suite D, which I'm like, okay, I could put presenters in there. So when the people started asking me, I said, well, you're in luck because of this presentation room opening up. So we actually went ahead and opened up proposals again. We got some in, put them in Suite D, but now we are officially closed. So we have slated to be at this conference this year. We have 50 presenters. So yeah.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. And as you remember, the first year we were small,
definitely assembled.
Yeah. Well, it's not quite assembled yet, but the first year, as you recall, I think we were a pretty small but mighty group. I think, what was it, like 30 of us? So yeah. It was just one of those things. Like,
and then COVID, so I think we had some cancellations just because of COVID.
Yeah. You know, I used to joke that people just keep those around on their phone. You're like, hey, we're going to Bob's wedding. Can't, COVID. I get COVID, see? Like, okay, they don't even make that test strip anymore.
I thought of that.
Just keep one on your phone if you don't want to go to a wedding or something. Like, send it to them. Like, oh, I can't. So I probably shouldn't say that. Don't do that. That's bad. Take it back. Taking it back. So now I'm in trouble.
That's the EMS Jade coming out in you.
No, possibly yes. So, but yeah, so we got some good things going on this year. Like, I know this year we again have you asked me about this earlier before we got going. Again, we have the discussion forum panels going. We're doing panels on the future of pain management and hypnotherapy. We're doing a panel on marketing in 2024 and beyond, and we're doing a panel on the future of stage hypnosis, because there's a lot happening with that right now as well. So those are our 3 discussion forum panels. We've got some good panelists that are going to be up there. So looking forward to those. And we're going to be doing those a little bit different.
For someone who's not had the Michigan experience. Yeah. We've got a bit of lag, but for someone who's not had the Michigan hypnosis experience, what is a discussion forum panel all about? What would you experience if you were sitting there?
Oh, what we do is it's actually a forum. This year we're going to have our panelists are going to be up there. They're not going to be at the table. They're just going to have chairs. So we have a moderator that has prepared questions, and I think I'm actually moderating one of them. And the moderator can kind of ask questions of the panelists. And we're also going to have a microphone circulating throughout the audience so that they can ask a question of our panelists. So it's really a forum where we get to share ideas and talk about what it is that we think that it should be happening in the future of, or how we can make this better, how we create a more positive flow in the field of hypnosis and hypnotherapy. So that's what's going to happen. It's really not, it's like, okay, we go to this panel and we listen to these people talk and then we leave. No. It's all inclusive. Anyways, I should stop doing that. That's my cool radio voice. I try not to use that on your podcast. So, but that's what's going to happen. So,
I had the I had the benefit of being on one of those panels last year, and the thing that I loved about it, even as a panelist, was that it wasn't just inclusive to the moderator's questions, but it really began a bigger discussion of how can we make this better, kind of as you said, and then everybody chimes in, and there's that beautiful connection that we have in the whole room where each and every attendee had something to add.
So yeah, and again, that's our premise, our mission statement, if you will, is to the everlasting theme of the Michigan Hypnosis Conference is the future of hypnosis and hypnotherapy. That's our everlasting theme. We don't have like, okay, this year's theme is better coffee cups. No. So longer lasting light bulbs with a new glow. So we're always with the future of hypnosis. That's what we're looking at. So yeah, I know. I can't. I'm very gregarious. If you guys are listening, unless I'm giving a presentation on neurophysiological effects of hypnosis, then I'm a little bit dry. But
pretty serious. Yeah.
Yeah. As I've said
I missed your talk at NATH last year. I was presenting at the same time, but I could hear parts of it through the wall, and I'm like, "Oh, Dan sounds so serious today."
I do have that voice. It's like, we're using our inside voice. I've been talking next to fire trucks for 30 years. I don't have an inside voice. I just, I'm at that level, and I do try to remember that when I'm doing a presentation and other people are in a room beside me, that I'm like, okay, you got to remember to bring it down, volume, 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 volume. There you go. And we present at a unique pace. No. So, yeah. But this year, we've also got something, I think, better than we had in the last 2 years, which is that the bus line runs from the airport to the venue, and it's like $2. So you get your baggage, you get on a bus, it takes you right to the place. It's $2. I think we also have free valet parking if you're driving in. We got that in the contract for free valet parking. So you don't have to pay to park, I guess. So, but I'm going to check on that just to make sure, but I believe we do. So, but we also have breakfast and lunch, and we're going to be doing a banquet dinner, and I think that's going to be an outing. We talked to the board. I put a poll, and everybody's like, hey, we want to have an outing for the dinner. And I'm like, okay. So there's a couple of restaurants that we're looking at, so that ought to be fun. And we have some new awards this year. One that you might be interested in, Amanda.
Oh.
Yes. We are, of course, we're doing the Hypnotherapist of the Year. We're doing the Innovations in Hypnosis, because that's our own creation at the conference for that. And Stage Hypnotist of the Year. But we're also doing Podcast of the Year. So that's new. Yeah.
Oh, that's tough. We've got a lot of great presenters who are also podcasters who come to this conference. So many. So that's going to be a tough choice. Yeah. I don't envy you for having to make that choice.
I know. Thankfully, I wasn't on stage at the hypnosis show. Like, I don't have any blackmail pictures.
But I do have photos of you from NATH.
Well, yes.
There were those couple of photos from NATH, I know.
Remember standing in front of this booth? Just caught me walking right there. She called my name. Yes, click. Oh, come on. What is that, a sneak picture?
You had that expression on your face. It was just priceless.
Like, I'm right in front of
I am, in fact, dangerous with a camera.
You are dangerous with a camera. So... But yeah, so that's what we're looking at, because again, yeah, you're right. That so many of my brethren, or our troop here, I should say, our tribe in hypnosis, have created podcasts. Because you know what, they're a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And yeah, I started my podcast for fun, and Heather doesn't let me do anything for fun, and now there's an entire magazine attached to it. So, but I'm okay.
Well, in true disclosure, my podcast wouldn't be here had it not been for my attendance to the second annual Michigan Hypnosis Conference.
So, oh my goodness.
Because that's where I won the Roadcaster Pro, which made it all possible.
That is, I forgot about that. Boy, that was a throwdown fight, wasn't it?
That's right.
For that, I remember the tickets.
Yes.
So, and one of the things that also, one of the things that's going to be happening again this year is the raffle prizes. They're right over there. I can see them. If I could move the camera, you could see the raffle prizes. But I'm not going to move the camera. So you'll just have to come to the conference to see the raffle prizes. No. But everybody gets 3 free raffle tickets in their swag bag. So you get 3 chances to win automatically, even though there's 5 raffle prizes. But never mind that now. So, yeah, it's really great. And that's one of the things, in my mind, I will tell you this. And Jim Kellner kind of loves the raffle prizes too. And so everybody loves the raffle prizes. In my mind,
yes.
A raffle prize...
Because they are not your typical raffle prizes. They are prizes you're going to use, that you're going to put into effect, that are going to change your business. Absolutely.
That's what I try to make. And I think a prize is something that you take home with it. You win it. It's in your hand. It's not like, well, you get 10% off of this, or, maybe this training. And those are fine prizes, but just in my own mind, it's like you win it, you take it home. It's something that works in hypnosis and hypnotherapy businesses. Like you say, I always try to have that in mind when we're picking a raffle prize. So, but I think we've done well this year.
Ladies and gents, he is going to tease you to the end of the episode with this. He's going to tease you with this all the way up to the conference and through. Don't take the bait or do, but either way, you do want to come to this conference, not just for the outstanding prizes or the fact that Dan spoils us with breakfast and lunch or the banquet dinner. There are so many other reasons to come to this conference. Like I said, I am a lifer. Yeah. This is going to be my third. The first one, I was just testing it out. The second one, I got to present. That was one of my first in-person presentations. You took a chance on me, and I thrived, and I loved it. So this year, I don't know what I'm doing new and interesting. We shall see.
So, street hypnosis, it's her new foray. No. But I don't think so. I think you could do it. I think Jim could get you into street hypnosis. I mean, that guy can, because he is doing...
Jim can get anybody into street hypnosis.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he's amazing at it. But this year he's doing a presentation on killing it on social media, which is hugely important any business. You've got to have that social media life. What's the word I'm looking for? Yeah. That was always something that was happening cool in the movies when you were waiting for something to happen. But yeah, presence, that's it. Yes, you have to have that social media presence. So, and I really am only on that for my business per se. If you notice, there's not a lot that happens on my personal page. I mean, outside from the odd movie quotes that I like to do, but that's important. So yeah, he's going to be doing that. Yeah. So that's a great presentation that we want people to see because Jim Kellner is amazing. Because I'm just so glad.
His keynote last year was amazing. He had me in stitches from the beginning all the way through. It was one of the best keynotes that I've seen.
Yeah. And who else is coming back this year? We've got some people coming back. We've got Michael Brody is coming back. Vinny is coming back. Huh? Amanda Dodd is coming back.
Randy Light?
No.
Correct. Amanda Dodd is coming back.
Yes. Randy, I think she's got something else going on too. She did not send a proposal, so. But okay. I also know that Vinny's coming back,
and she had one hell of a keynote too.
She did. Claudia isn't going to be able to be there, but Connie is going to be able to be there. Grant Saunders is going to be there. Vinny is going to be there. Michael Brody is going to be there. And we have a ton of presenters this year, just a ton. I mean, it's the most presenters we've ever had.
Luke and Melanie.
Yeah, we've had to really work the schedule to get everybody, where they need to be. So that is really cool. And there's gonna be a surprise in the swag bags this year. It's gonna be a surprise. I'm not gonna tell you what it is, but there's something very cool that's gonna.
I told you. Yeah, I told you he's gonna leave you hanging.
It's going to be very cool in the swag. When you get the swag bag, you're going to look in the swag bag and go, wow! That's my Steve Martin impersonation right there. I'm sorry. But I do have to tell you that the kitchen has advised me that they are out of the shrimp barbecue fries. I'm sorry. We can't get those. So.
What about the Hi Hello Party?
Oh, yeah. This year, the Hi Hello Party we do have a theme for that. I think it's movies, the movie premiere theme. So we've got that. We're going to have a cash bar. We're going to have hors d'oeuvres and snacks as we always do there. We're going to have music and lights and just having a good time. And we're going to have the place all decorated. So, yeah, definitely that's going to be happening. And I think this year we actually changed that. We changed the Hi Hello Party. Usually we had that the first 2 years. It was the night prior to the conference. A lot of people kind of flew in the day of, so or that night, and they got in late. So this year we decided, you know what, we're going to have the conference, then the Hi Hello Party, and then move on from there, so that everyone that wants to come can come. So, but yeah, and we are going to be doing that in the main ballroom, of course, and just having a lot of fun with that. So, it's going to be great. What else is there?
That Hi Hello party the first year was such a great chance to mingle, to get to see people before they put their business face on and are
Yes.
doing their presentations. You really get to know people.
And I think the first year that year I tried to kill Carolyn Ching. I was not aware that Carolyn was deathly allergic to latex, and we had balloons everywhere. It was like she walked in, it was like a landmine. So they gathered up all the balloons and put them in the corner. And I was like, I felt bad. And that is another quest I have for 2025 is to get Carolyn Ching back to the Michigan conference from Australia. So even if I have to fly over and get her. So
Australia or Hawaii?
I think she's in Australia. I thought she was in Australia. Is she in Hawaii? Because she's in Hawaii.
Yeah, because she was in Hawaii at one point.
Yeah, then she moved. No, she was in Hawaii.
She's international. It's hard to keep track.
She was in Hawaii and she moved to Australia. So, because she was actually teasing me like, oh, I'm moving. I'm like, where are you moving to? Michigan. I'm like, don't play with my emotions. So she goes, no, I'm going to Australia. So, but yeah.
Okay.
Like that's a quest I have because, again, she was one of those people that just made that first year extra special. And so one of the things she
had a lot of experientials. Wonderful class. I sat in for a portion of it. It was fantastic. Good information.
So yeah. And one of the things we have going on this year with the new venue is we got not only the free valet parking, but we got a pretty good rate. We got a good room rate, and hoping to improve on that in 2025. But so if you want your rooms, book those now, because the code for that is Hypno24. That's actually on the website. If you go to the website and click on the venue, it'll scroll down because we've got an anchor set, so you don't have to search for it. It just scrolls down automatically, and you'll see a little thing that says book your room. And you can book your room that way online. You can call, but if you do call, say, hey, I'm coming in, Hypno24 is the code, they'll give you the rate. So, yeah. So make sure to book your rooms before they're gone, because we only have so many rooms that we could get. So, yeah, that's the important thing. If you haven't booked your room yet, Amanda.
I've got mine, and I am not sharing. I am booked, and I am not sharing.
Like, it's mine. It's all mine.
I'm pretty sure I got a king-size bed, and my intention is to take up the whole thing.
There you go. All right. Yeah, I know. And next year, Amanda will have 2 words for me: mini bar. So I'm just kidding.
No, unfortunately not. I will be the last person you'll see having a drink.
Exactly. I always pick on you about that. I'm like, what is that? Soda? Seriously? Then like, what is that? A tankard of ale?
Sugar-free something or another.
Yes. And then at the Hi Hello party, you guys will see me cruising around with a tankard of ale just for my nerves, because it's a lot. I will say this: it's a lot of fun, but it's a lot of work. It is a huge amount of work running the conference. Just from everything. And if I didn't have Heather, I probably would not be running the conference, because I would have, wound up somewhere in what we call an I love me jacket, just embracing my own self.
I've never heard that called that before.
It's just an old term. So really, she's going to have to edit a lot of this out. Nope, can't say that. Can't have that. No. So, yeah. But it's a lot of work, because
I'm kind of a purist. I don't do too much editing, but you do this work all year round. I haven't seen you catch a break, and immediately after conference is done, you've already got your head down and starting on the next one.
Yeah, well, that's
this year. I think you're actually going to have a heads up for 2025 because you know your venue.
Yes,
I think that's going to keep rolling that way, isn't it?
Yeah, we actually signed a 3-year contract with them, and there was a method to my madness. Which was, I knew that we couldn't go back to Gaylord. It was so hard to get to, and it's a lovely venue, just hard to get to. So when I began looking for other venues, again, they kind of ignored us in that downstate area. And just out of happenstance, I remembered the Island Resort Casino. Just prior to COVID, we were slated to take Rocknosis USA up there, which was the old stage show that we were doing, and perform. So I got a hold of them, and they were like, so great. They were like, yeah, come on up. And I was like, okay. And I knew I had, and you're going to laugh at this. I said, this is it. This is what breaks the bank, because they all watch. You don't think that the other venues aren't looking at each other, but they are. They know who's where and what conference is going there and who's got this group. And okay, they're making money and we're making money, especially here in Michigan. They, it's one of those things. I don't want to get all conspiracy theory on you, but they do. And we got up there and got into that conference, and no more did that happen than we got emails from Firekeepers. We got emails from Motown. We got emails from, there was one other, the MGM. We did not get one from the Greek Town Casino and Hotel. And I said, and I knew that they're like, well, if they can go there, if they can afford that and they can do this, obviously we need to get them down here. So we started looking at that, and just off a happenstance on my social media site on the business page, the Greektown Hotel popped up. So we sent them an email, started talking. They sent us this amazing proposal, and I'm like, yeah, let's go down. And we went down and we took a look at it, and the Hollywood Corporation bought it. They spent $40 million refurbishing it during COVID, opened it up, and it's just a great looking venue. So yeah, very happy with that. And you guys, I think, will love it, because it's right in the heart of the entertainment district. I mean, you go to the conference, you can go down to the museum. You go to the conference, you can go visit Comerica Park. You go to the conference, you can go to the Pegasus restaurant. There's just a lot happening there. And there's a lot happening inside the venue as well. So, shameless plug. I have no shame.
Yeah. Who do we have this year for entertainment at Michigan Hypnosis Conference?
Oh, this year? For entertainment? So, well, we hired Patricia, the dancing bear. No, because that's an old reference. People won't know who is that. No, this year we got somebody great, which is really, really good. He just volunteered, by the way. He volunteered to do this, which is Richard Cole is coming in from Canada to do our stage hypnosis show at the Hi Hello Party. So not only are we going to have music and lighting and food and drink, there's going to be a stage hypnosis show. So people will be able to see that and experience that and be in the show. So there may be more blackmail photos for you, Amanda. So I will not be there on the stage, because no blackmail photos for me. I've got to stay clean so I don't get blackmailed.
It's too late, Dan. It's too late.
I've already got 2 of them. Yeah, sorry. So gonna happen.
You think I only took 2?
So,
you know what I will say that makes the Michigan Hypnosis Conference different as well is you have an infiltration of Canadians, and that is one of my favorite things, because I myself was born and raised Canadian. I only became a U.S. citizen this month.
Well, in fact. Congratulations.
So to get to go and to meet so many, thank you, but to get to meet so many different hypnotists, whether they're stage or comedy or the therapeutic aspect of it, is just fantastic.
Yeah, and I love the guys coming in
and I
from
don't even
Canada.
have to leave the country.
Yeah, because well, the bridge is right there, the Blue Bridge.
That's right.
And I remember going to the Canadian Hypnosis Conference. I drove over there, and man, the Canadians were so polite to me. They were so polite and helpful. Yeah. Like they looked at me and like, oh yeah, you're from America. Eh? If you get on the 402 right now, there's no traffic. You can get out of here right now. We are looking out for you, because no traffic. I mean, you can just right quick get out. So they were very polite about that. But yeah, no,
that was not the part that I'm from.
No. Yeah, because I know we've got Richard Cole coming from Canada. We've got Dave Bonnell is coming from Canada. We have Luke coming from Canada. Yeah. And I'm so happy to have Joni Knighty coming back.
Melanie?
So yeah, Melanie is coming in. So, but yeah, and because Joni Knighty is back, her health is better. So, she fell and kind of like, what have you. And I know that she talked about that, but I'm not going to talk too much about that. But we're super happy that she's coming back. Yay! So, got some great presenters this year. And yeah, there may be cake.
It's really shaping up well.
We hope so. So, yeah. And everybody likes cake.
Well, tell you what, Dan, in exchange for the blackmail photos, you can have my cake this year.
So
I'm keto. I will not be partaking in cake.
No, that's okay. I won't. I will defend you. I will protect you from the cake by eating the piece of cake that you should have eaten. So, I mean, it's the least I can do.
Thank you, good sir.
Like, what happened? I don't know. Dan face planted into that double Dutch chocolate. So the last we saw of him. But
oh goodness! Yeah, but it's going to be another wonderful year for Michigan Hypnosis Conference. What are your hopes for it this year that are new or different?
I think we've already hit it. We've got more presenters than we've ever had. We've got some attendees coming. We've got Richard Cole's going to be there. We got people returning. We've got a great venue. I don't have to worry about buses because we got buses at the casino last year, which was a much better price to get people back and forth from the airports. But this year I don't have to worry about that. So that was a great thing. And listen, it's not that I don't want to do it. It's just, I mean, I just didn't want to have to do that. But we do a lot of good things for people. So
I will say your conference really does feel like the most, and not to put the other conferences down, because everybody works very hard to put conferences together, and they're all enjoyable for different reasons. But yours is one of my favorites because the care involved for the presenters and the attendees feels very comprehensive, and I will say it's more so than anywhere else I've been.
Yeah. Oh, thank you.
And I know that no matter what's happening in my life, when I get to Michigan, everything's taken care of.
Yeah, that's one of the things. As a presenter myself, having traveled all over the world, presenting, when I started putting this together with Heather, and I said, if it works for the presenter, it's going to be better for the attendee. That way, we spent a lot of money. We bought whiteboards, we bought projectors and screens and microphones and speakers, and just so every presenter has what they need in their room. There's always, we got the USB cables that are there for you. If there's an issue, we'll come in and get your presentation right. So that was the big thinking in my head. If it works well, if everything clicks and jives for the presenter, perfect, because you have to take care of your presenters. You don't want to take advantage of them per se. So that's one of the things that we set out, because I've been to conferences where I've been taken advantage of a little bit, not badly, but I'm like, okay. And that was in EMS conferences as well. I don't mean just hypnosis and hypnotherapy conferences. So my thinking was, take care of the presenters. Make sure that they feel welcome and respected, and they've got everything they need, and everything is good to go. Because when you're happy, the attendees are happy. I'm happy. Heather isn't giving me that look per se. You've seen the look, Amanda. You have.
Don't let him paint you a negative photo of Heather. She is the sweetest woman when you get to know her, and she will move the sun and the earth to make things work for you. So
absolutely,
he's just jaded
a little bit. No, it's just she is, and she knows me. She knows me, and she also knows when I'm at the conference and I'm about to gregarious, and she needs me to be on task. She will keep me on task. That's the amazing thing about Heather, is she keeps me on task. Because if she was at this podcast right now,
didn't even need a shock collar this time.
I know, right? What's Dan doing? I don't know. He's shaking on the ground. Oh, Heather's got the shock collar on him. But that's hugely important, is to have someone like that. Keeps you on task, because If it were up to me, if somebody said there's something wrong, you would suddenly hear the Lone Ranger theme, and I would come flying out of a room with an adult pogo stick, riding to the rescue. That's what we don't want to see, guys. So yeah, she is amazing. She really is. She just keeps me right on task. And she makes sure that the conference staff, that they're on task and things happen. It's like, boom, we got the dinner. Bam, we've got the breakfast. You know what I mean? She makes sure that all those little logistic things are working, because I'll set them up and I'll go down there. And one of the things that you don't know about me is during the year through the venue, I'll have 4 or 5 site visits with the venue, just to make sure things are going to go well when we get there. Now, it doesn't always work that way, but I make the effort. And I laugh, and Amanda knows what I'm talking about. Like the first year we were there, Tracy Barrett was our first keynote speaker. We're in the room. She starts the keynote speaker, and at this point, maintenance thought it would be a great idea to start drilling into a door next to the conference. And boy, what Heather was right on him. It's just like, and I looked at him like, I don't even understand why they would think that that's a good time to drill into a door. So, those are some of the things that happen. They didn't know about
the shock collar.
Yeah. Well, she doesn't use it anymore. I'm getting better. I'm getting trained. So, I've had all my shots per se. So yeah, it's important to keep that on track. And so, the one thing that I think
previous years. Huh? Sorry, we've got lag. It makes it tough. Previous years, we'd had headshots. We had audio recordings. What can we anticipate this year?
Well, this year, Picture Perfect will be back. There will be headshots. We're also going to be doing those audio recordings. Awesome. But something new this year, which is one of the vendors is coming in. We couldn't pay for it at the conference, and I'll explain why. Red Line Media is coming in, and they are going to be doing marketing videos for the presenters or attendees.
Oh my goodness.
Now, the reason we couldn't just pick that up was we didn't know how many people we were going to have or how many people were going to want them. So we didn't want to underpay them. Like, oh, hey, here's this much money for this. And then they get this huge number, or maybe they don't get a big enough number. I don't know. So they just said, we'll come in as a vendor. People can sign up, and they're giving, it's a really great rate. I can't remember what it is, like a 15 or 30-second video, and they are professional videographers. They will put together for you a amazing promo video for whatever you want. So they're going to be there. That is one of the cool things that we're going to be happening. So, but yes, the headshots are being paid for by the conference. So again, free headshots. So yeah, and you get the free swag bags. So, and we've got all our vendors in the hall, and something new that's happening this year. It's a good thing you said something, Amanda. So let's put it out there. We are going to be doing something different this year with the vendors, as I've said in other videos. So not only are the vendors going to get a chance to sell at the conference, but they will be able to sell from the conference, because we are going to be utilizing our Be Live live streaming platform. And on this, it has a sale portion that you can sell from Be Live. You can put your link up there. Hey, here's my product. Here's the link to buy it. I'm going to talk about it. So we're doing that. So every vendor gets about 15 minutes to come over, talk about their products from the conference. And those videos are downloadable so that they can go and now they've got a promo video. And then now they can take it over to whatever, maybe they use Opus clips, and now they're making a clip. So not only did they get to talk about it at the conference, they're using it as a branding video, they're using it as clips. And because we are beta testing it this year at the conference, and we're hoping it's going to go well, the vendors aren't paying for the booths, because we want them to have value. Should this not work, we think it's going to work. We've been testing it. So, but you never know. It's something new. So I said, and we talked about it, it's like, you know what, if something goes wrong and they don't really get the value out of it, I don't feel right taking money from them, which is odd if you think about it. he didn't want to take money from them. There's something wrong with him.
You rarely do.
Yeah. So I think we have the lowest presenter registration too. It's like $65 because I did the math on that. You know, if I have this many people and I've got this much food and I have this much money, I can do that. Basically, I'm breaking even, or we're breaking even on the food with that $65 presenter registration fee. So that's why people ask me, like, why is it so low? Well, again, you guys, because most people don't understand what's happening. And I'll tell you what's happening is, for a lot of people like myself and just such as yourself, you buy an airplane ticket, then you buy a hotel room, and then you've got to maybe pay for food when you get to the conference, and all these things are part of a conference. So that's a lot of expense out of pocket. If in any way we can help to mediate that expense, we will do that. Doesn't mean that I want to go broke doing the conference, but you know, again, as a presenter who flies all over the place, I'm trying to go, you know what, this person's coming in, they're presenting at the conference, you know, do we feel good about saying, okay, here's your presentation, now pay us $150? So I didn't feel good about that. I mean, so we said, you know what, let's break even on the food. Minimum. Let's keep it as low. And we're always going to try and keep it as low as we can. Low. You know, spinning core of the earth low. So we're gonna do our best. So yeah, so those are some of the things that are happening, and just the reasons why they happen that way. Because I've done that too. You've done it. You know, it's like, hey, boom. You know, here's your presentation. You've been accepted. The fee is this, and yeah, you save some money, per se, because you're not attending. You are attending, but you're also presenting. You're doing work at the conference, so you get that discount, which is good. So yeah.
But there's also, you know, clothing to consider, and you know, as women, we have to go get our hair done and nails and the whole bit. So no, not really. At the end of the day, it all gets eaten up because you're preparing to present and to be a human, consumed by humans.
Yes.
So you have to be fit for consumption.
This is so. What she's saying
if I show up in pajamas, there's going to be a problem.
You know, could be interesting. It's like, are those teddy bears? What is that? Is that a onesie? No. No. Basically, she's just like,
Don't enable
nice
my
try,
bad behavior,
Dan, but I still have to have my hair done. It's like, it's $57 just for the hair alone. Okay. I'm not going to tell you what I pay for the pound.
If I'm lucky.
Do you know how much eyeshadow is? But so,
well, thankfully, I'm not one of those. I will always go naked faced, but for most presenters, that is something to consider. And then making sure that the baggage is good and everything is going to arrive. And worst case scenario, baggage gets lost or something. It's, you know, things you want to prepare for.
Oh yeah, that is one of those things.
It's nice to not have to worry
about that per se.
Right.
Okay, the luggage made it. That's there. Yeah, I always keep my computer bag with me because it's got all my presentation stuff in it. I never check that because that's, as a presenter. And one of the things I will say is when you're doing these conferences, sometimes people will ask you, it's like, well, do you have computers in the room? What? No. I have everything but that. Just because if you're bringing a presentation, you should be bringing your computer. I do it every year, every conference I go to. My bag is just filled to the brim with presenter stuff. So yeah, that's important. Keep it keen. So, boy, I don't know what else to talk about.
Well, any thoughts for people who are on the hinge of coming to the Michigan Hypnosis Conference and they're not yet sure?
Oh, yeah. If you're not sure, if you're not coming to the conference or you've not been to a conference before and you're thinking, should I go to Michigan? This will be maybe my first conference. Come to Michigan because we are a great place to start. It is the lowest cost that you're going to, it's $185 for 3 days. You get breakfast, you get lunch. You don't have to worry about that. I mean, and it's not boxed. We have it catered. It's, it's right, there's a buffet. You walk into the breakfast, there's a buffet. You walk into lunch, there's a hot buffet. So that's really great. You don't have to worry about that. And you're going to see people from all over the world, all over Michigan, all over the United States. You're going to get a chance to talk to them. If you need new headshots, we've got those guys for you, because everybody always needs new headshots. I need new headshots, because, yeah, I do. I really do. And just a thick filter, just a very thick filter with the headshots. But, yeah, and like I said, you know what? If you need a promo video, man, they're going to be there. So it's just a lot of great things happening. You'll be able to meet Vinny. You'll be able to meet all kinds of people. And, Michael Brody will be there. I'll be there. Heather will be there. Amanda Dodd will be there. So definitely have to come. I guess that's it. Yeah. So
I can't say enough good things about it.
Thank you.
I am very persnickety in the things that I will jump in on, and this is a for sure thing for me every year.
Well,
so definitely come check it out. Come meet Dan, enjoy his antics in person. Come meet Heather. Come be part of the community, part of the family, and the innovations in hypnotherapy as we continue to grow into the future.
So, yeah. Oh, and something new will be happening. I just thought of this.
All right.
It's really cool. And it's probably minimal, but it's cool to me. It'll be the fall. It'll be September, so it'll be nice. But because it's the fall, I will have purchased a brand new Baja that I will not wear until the day of the conference. So you will be able to see that brand new Baja. So and she knows what I'm talking about. It's like, just one of my wonderful quirks. Multicolored. It's going to be great.
Oh, goodness.
So, yeah, but thanks for having me. Yeah.
Well, thanks so much for coming on and helping people understand what the benefits are of coming to the conference, but particularly the Michigan conference and what makes it stand apart. And the thing I love the most is, like you said, it's not exclusive to one group of hypnotists. You don't have to be a hypnotist to come to this conference.
Oh, yeah.
Some people aren't, and they come to present other things. But it is a great place to come and to learn and to dip your toe and to have a lot of experiences and possibly personal breakthroughs, because I saw a lot of those last year in the conference. You don't market those, incidentally, but they happen. Absolutely, they do.
Yeah, they do. I'm just not there to see the personal breakthroughs. So just right there, Heather's keeping me on track, just making sure that I'm getting stuff done. So I'm not, running around lost somewhere.
You see it in a different way. You see it in repeat attendees and repeat presenters and people who now call it home.
Exactly. So, all right. So come to the conference, meet Amanda, and I'll be there with my brand new hoodie.
To go there with the hoodie. All right, Soulful Seekers, thanks so much for listening. If you've got questions for Dan or you want to know more about the Michigan Hypnosis Conference, you can find that at michiganhypnosisconference.com, or come on to Facebook and find the community. Dan's got a group there. I don't know how many people thick it is now, but
a little over.
You can jump in the community now. You don't have to wait until September.
Yeah, it's about, we're almost to 800. Almost got 800 in the community, which is really good. So, yeah. So
that's 800 people who you can get to know and start to dive in and see if hypnosis or hypnotherapy could be an asset to what you do. All right. Bright blessings, everybody. Have a wonderful day. And as always, stay inspired. Bye for now. Thank you for joining us on this transformative episode of Trauma and Transcendence. Your stories matter. I would love to hear them and from you. Connect on our website, healingbeyondtrauma.com, or drop me an email at amanda@healingbeyondtrauma.com. Remember, healing is a journey we take together. Until next time, stay connected, stay inspired. This is Amanda, wishing you bright blessings.